Hey guys, how you doing? Or should I say aloha? Okay. This video is a little different. I mean, it's the same type of video. I kind of go back and forth with the UFO videos and the ghost videos. But this one is a UFO confession video. Um, Last night I was on my way to work and I saw this bright light in the sky. Now when it comes to a bright light, it could be a number of things. Excuse me. It could be a star. It could be a helicopter. It could be a plane. But this was neither one of those. Okay. First of all, I mean, I'm a star watcher. I always got my eyes in the sky. Because I'm what you would call an amateur astronomer. So I have a high power telescope, is what you can see right there. Yeah, that's my baby right there. That thing cost me about maybe $800. I've had it for about maybe, almost 20 years now. But whenever there's a astronomical anomaly in the sky, like a planet or anything, like if the stars are out, you know, um, I'm constantly looking, so I know what a star looks like in the sky, especially if you're looking at the fact that stars twinkle. But what that really is the uh, the resolution from the atmosphere causes the stars to twinkle like that. But anyway, uh, I was on my way to work, I believe. Yeah, I was on my way to work. And see, there's a small, like, local airport across from the highway that I was on. Okay, and right above the tower, there is a light, or like a either like a beacon light or just a regular light that be pulsating. That's so you can tell what it is. But above that was this like long. It looked like it could have been like a saucer, I guess, because I saw lights, that was hovering above it. Because it looked like it looked like a ball of light at first, but I also saw some other lights around it. Like it could have been uh, like I guess lights that was around the craft. And by me driving, there wasn't really too much I can do because I was on my way to work, so I couldn't stop and just look at it, and try to figure out what it was. I mean, I knew what it was, but like I said, I saw something that was hovering right up above the airport, above the tower. But it was pretty high up. It was like maybe a couple, maybe 1,000 feet up. It wasn't like right above the airport, but it was like you could see it up there, and it was just sitting there. It wasn't moving, And I was like, okay, that's weird, But like I said, I knew exactly what it was. But yeah, that was my experience because this is the thing I found out about where if you were to say in your mind that you were like all the good aliens to show themselves, I would really love to see you and all this stuff, da 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 da. But you're saying all this in your mind because they can only speak through mental telepathy, from what I hear. They don't have any vocal cords, so. And then I've also heard that they can really pick up what you're doing because there was this one guy who said how he saw a UFO. He started, and I think it was some bad weather outside, and it was cold, so he started flipping off at the aliens. And as soon as he started flipping off, the UFO or the spacecraft, it stopped in midair. And as soon as he stopped cursing at him or whatever it was he doing, that's when it started moving. So it was almost like it knew that whoever was piloting that craft knew that it was there. Because I've heard that like the aliens that power these crafts can actually sense when someone is looking at them. Because a person could be, I've heard of a person that could be recording the UFO will have the camcorder up in the sky, and as soon as it fixates itself onto the UFO, it would stop. It wouldn't do anything. As soon as you turn it off and put the camera down, that's when it starts moving. So it's almost like they have this high sensory psychic ability where they can sense when someone is actually either, you know, they can either sense when someone is actually looking at them, or they can detect when someone is using some type of device that can record them or something. I'm not sure, but I just know that that happened. But like I said, I've heard that you can talk to them through mental telepathy and tell them that you want to see them. I tried it and it does work. It doesn't work all the time. Sometimes it'll take up to about maybe a month or two before you actually see something, but you got to keep your eyes in the sky in order for you to actually see something, because that happened one time before when I said that I was driving down the road and saw a perfectly round disc moving across the sky behind a patch of clouds, you know, and the moon was out. It was a full moon. And I literally saw it pass through the clouds, and it just went off to the right and kept going, and it just disappeared, you know, in the distance, you know. But it was the fact that it was flying directly across the moon so that I can actually see the shape of it. It was flying sideways, so you can actually see the disc itself. You know, like I said, it just moved off to the right, and it didn't make not one sound. I mean, everybody knows that UFOs don't make any noise. You know, whatever kind of propulsion system they use, it causes the craft to move in silence, and that's some serious technology right there. Okay, so like I said, that's my experience. You know, it was small, but I still saw something. You know, and like I said before, um, I would definitely be making sure that I, you know, contact you guys whenever I have an experience, whether it be a ghost or, you know, a UFO experience. So that's all I have. So, like I said before, as soon as I see something or hear something, you will be the first people to know. I guarantee it. If you want to drop me a line, you know, ask me a couple of questions about anything, because I remember I talked a little bit about these mysterious disappearances before, you know, in national parks, and then there was this story in Canada about a girl named Maddie Scott, or her full name is Madison Scott. She hasn't been found yet. I mean, they've been looking for her for like 3 years or more, and there's been no trace of her to be found. Now, the crazy part about it is they live near a highway called the Highway of Tears, where it's a highway in that area where a lot of women have been disappearing since the 50s. Some would just disappear without a trace. Some would be found dead in the road, like on the side of the road or in the brush. You know, now with Madison Scott, it was a little different. She just vanished in the thin air. Nobody knows what happened to her. Now, the police put together a huge investigation on it. You know, they interviewed everybody, they interrogated everybody, including her best friend, who was the one that left her there when she should have stayed there with her. But I look at it like this here: if she had stayed with her, she probably would have disappeared too. You know, just so that she wouldn't talk. If it was a homicide, you know, but they said when the parents went back to the site where she disappeared, her truck was there. It was locked, and all of her belongings and her personal stuff was inside the truck. The only thing that was missing was her cell phone, and that died after the first day when they realized they couldn't get in touch with her. So to this day, I think she disappeared in 2011. Here it is, 2015, and no sign of her whatsoever. Now, there was talk about this guy that she was dating who had a run-in with some bad people who they say he dealt with drugs. You know, he did a lot of drugs, and his suppliers weren't too happy with him. And he took a lie detector test, said that he didn't have nothing to do with it. He passed with flying colors. 2 weeks after that, they found his body somewhere in a house. Well, not his body. They found his severed head in the house, and his body hasn't been found since. They don't know, you know, his body is completely missing. So I'm thinking maybe they put his body in a wood chipper and just chopped him up into a million pieces, which is probably the reason why they can't find him. They might have done the same thing with Madison Scott if it was premeditated. Okay, now they say that they're saying that they may have, whoever these people are may have kidnapped Madison Scott because she was his boyfriend, and they did that to teach him a lesson. But at the same time, he turned up dead too, or decapitated. They find his head, but they didn't find his body. So I don't know. But anyway, if you want to know any more about these mysterious disappearances, you can hit me up on YouTube on my page, or you can go to, I think it's, you can type in David Paulides. David Paulides. It's a Paul. I think it's, well, I gotta look it up, but his name is David Paulides, and all you have to really do is look up mysterious disappearances in national parks on YouTube, and he has a bunch of interviews on there that you can listen to him and just get a good idea of what I've been talking about. But like I said, it's pretty crazy stuff, so. But anyway, I gotta go. I only got but so much time with these videos. They only give you a certain amount of time. So, always imparting as usual. Aloha, mahalo, and ahuiho, which is till we meet again in Hawaiian. All right, peace.